Hi everyone, so this video will be going over kind of the first part of the QA process, and so we'll be using the comparison data sheets and the QA sheets to kind of check for discrepancies between our daily COVID numbers and the daily COVID numbers of the three comparison data sets that we use. And so once you kind of get into the COVID data project folder, you can go to the daily COVID-19 numbers area, and then if you go to the QA team folder and you look, there's the QA sheets, and you can kind of choose your region. So I'll be working in the Midwest, and then choose the state that you want to work on. And you can download either here, or you can click into the sheet and download directly from there. And then once you have that downloaded, this is what the sheet looks like. And so this is kind of your output. So this will be where you kind of check for the discrepancies. But the input is kind of the first part that you want to look at. So it's the second tab down here. And you can see that you can put in the numbers for Broad Street and for the three comparison data sets. So this is Johns Hopkins University, New York Times, and then USA Facts. They separate out their cases and their deaths. So to get that information, so for Broad Street, you just go to your data entry sheet. And so going back to this, so if I'm working in the Midwest, it would be the team entry sheet. And once you're there, I'm going to be working on QA for Wisconsin for August 30th. And so what you do, you just kind of copy this, and you want to make sure that you copy and you don't cut, because when you cut and paste, it can mess up the conditional formatting. So only copy that information. You paste it into the area, update the date. So now you have the Broad Street numbers in, and then you want to get the comparison data set numbers for that date. So once you're here, going back to the QA team only folder, if you look at the bottom, there's two county comparison data sheets, and this is NYT, and then Johns Hopkins University and USA Facts is on a separate one. So if you go into NYT, which I have up here, you would scroll till you find the date that you're working on and the state that you're working on. So once again, August 30th for Wisconsin. You highlight this entire section. Okay, copy that, put it into your QA sheet. So now that's what NYT is, and this is kind of what it looks like at the beginning. It's you'd have to scroll all the way down to the bottom for the more recent dates. And then moving to the different sheets. So this would be in the Johns Hopkins University and the USA Facts for the other two comparison data sets. And that opens to look like this. And so you see you have USAF cases, and then deaths, and then Johns Hopkins University is all in one tab. And so for cases, you once again scroll to find your date, and the state that you're working in. Then once you have that all highlighted, copy that over, update the cases. Deaths look the same way. So we have all of the deaths, and I already have that pasted over. And then Johns Hopkins University, and you got to remember to highlight the two columns. Okay. And now once you have all three comparison data sets all in here, then you can move to your output results. And you'll notice for the output results that we only have two columns now for our Broad Street data, and that's because we separate out ours into confirmed and probable. So this would be confirmed probable cases, confirmed probable deaths, but they kind of combine everything in the comparison data sets, so the sheet does it for you, and it combines to just total cases and total deaths, just to kind of check more quickly for all of that. And so with all that information here, you can look over to this side, and yes will indicate discrepancy. So anytime that our data set doesn't match at least one of the other comparison data sets, you can actually filter out. So you only have yes selected, and then these are the only counties that you need to generate comments for. And one thing to note with the filter is that if you kind of save the sheet and then use it for QA the next day, if there's kind of an additional county that maybe didn't have a discrepancy before but does have it the next day, it won't automatically update it. So at kind of the beginning of each time you use the sheet, you want to kind of reselect all, reselect yes to make sure that you're not missing any counties. And then finally, for kind of going over and making the comments, you can move to the data entry page. Now all you're going to do just kind of copy. So this is for the state total. You can right click, comment, paste your comment, put it in there. It moves pretty quickly. And you want to make sure that you, for every single discrepancy and every comment generated, you want to add them all to the data entry sheet. One thing to note is that there is kind of a shortcut. So if you kind of do Control-C for the copy for Dane County, and then if you make sure that you're on that county selected, you can do Control-Alt-M to open the comment, Control-V to paste, Control-Enter to make the comment. So those are some shortcuts that you can use for adding it. And then once you kind of get all of these added, you've kind of finished up that first level of just identifying the discrepancies between the counties and then those comparison sets that we're using.